Alright, I've done the preliminary work of finding a group beforehand, so we can jump right into the thick of it. I believe this is a completely blind group, but I'm not 100% sure, so I've watched a little bit beforehand. But I'm not gonna spoil anything for anyone that doesn't want to know. That's probably a good start, I guess. Let's save that one for later, in case we're gonna need it. Or maybe not. It seems it's probably not entirely blind, is my guess. And there we are. We also have 2 summoners, but it's probably fine. Let's see. The worst that can happen is that we wipe for 90 minutes. I'm gonna use my idol to be on the safe side. That was the closest sneak by I've ever done in my life. I shouldn't. I should probably have saved my my insta rest for that. Let's see what happens next. Alright, the tank just dies. Right then. I'm going to guess we need someone in each of them. But I don't think they have enough people. Let's see what happens. Oh, ads! See. Yeah, that sounds right. 2 in each. Nothing. It didn't really help when I stood in it alone. Ah, yeah, I probably just died outright from just tanking the damage. Here we go in again. And hopefully we get a little bit further. They're pretty nice with so many mages. We just get the permanent idol. Oh. I think this works. You just have to commit. Oh dear, there's a heal on a tank with the dot. Help the tank. The next mechanic is those poison puddles that we saw before, yeah? Haha, the summoner score. Oh dear. We should probably plan pairs then. We should probably plan who pairs with who. Oh, we have a macro. Let's see. I'm gonna take a little picture of that. Here we are. And see what people have chosen. I'll be the melee. I'll be the extra melee. Let's see. Where's the pairs in this? Storm clouds. Guess I'm with Arya then. Since they didn't announce they were healer 2. And the other one did announce they were healer 1. Right. A little bit of management, it seems. And in we go again. Oh dear. Oh no, I missed the fact that I ran right over the poison this time. Let's see if I survive. I think I'll be fine. Just barely. Oh. Right, that's on the tank. This is a bit of a problem. It would probably help if we had half of each pair marked. Yeah, I think this will work a lot better. And I just need to look for the 4. Here we go again. Maybe we'll get past this puddle thing this time. That's a lot of damage. Oh. I ran right into the puddle. It's really bad. Shield myself and hope for survival. We get it. I think we got it. Excellent. More mechanics to learn. Oh. Tank went down. Now we have the walls again. In a different shape. Hey! I'm alive to watch myself die. Excellent. Right. That mechanic. Hmm. And we just go right back into it then. It's a really smart choice from the other summoner to just immediately drop the Searing Light. That makes it much easier for me to know what we're doing. Oop. Coverstones? This might be a good place to use the sprint so consistently, so we have a better leeway to make it here. Let's be ready for that venomous mass. Excellent. Did we get all of them? Seems we got all of them. And the venomous mass. In the walls. Oh my, that's so much damage. Oh my. That's how do we deal with that? Let's see. Let's talk about double rush. Hey Tara, thank you so much. That really means a lot to me. Thank you so much. Okay, so I think I get it. The double rush does the damage, majority of the damage on the side that it lands on. So we swap sides, I guess. I guess I'll have to follow the team. Shield it up, and I guess we need a little bit more coordination on this idle thing. get the feeling that there might be 2 options, but I don't think there is. No, there's only one. The other crystal completely blocks off the area on the other side. Uh-oh. I should really stop spending my Swift cast. It seems we need it for this progress. A sprint, I think. Tara says, also, what do you think about job design these days? Were they better before? Do you mean jobs in general, or do you mean like Summoner specifically? Oh, I wasted my sprint, my Swift cast on Slipstream again. In general, hard to say. I feel like it's a little mixed because before jobs used to be like more varied. Like you had to keep in mind all sorts of cooldown timings, like when you were planning like burst windows, some jobs had to deal with a 3-minute cooldown, some had a 90-second cooldown, and all sorts of things. So it was really complicated to figure out how you were gonna do it, for good or bad. It was difficult to plan your cooldowns in a raid team. These days, because everything is on 30 seconds, 60 seconds, or 2 minutes outright, there's far less to worry about in that regard. Some people might think that's better, some might think that that's worse, because it like homogenizes everything, and that might be a little boring. I don't think too much about it. As I see it, I think that the way it is now is a lot more easy, more approachable for the majority of the player base, which I think is overall a net gain. That more people can, you know, get it right, so to speak. Ooh. And this time I had my rest, at the very least. Hey Andromeda! We're doing some savage raiding, while also talking about job design. But I think that's how I see it, Tara. That nowadays it's a little bit you could say it's a little boring compared to how it used to be. But it's easier for people to learn the jobs and how to do it in a full raid context. Like, how can I say it? The reason why most of my max level guides are designed in a way where I explain how you optimize for yourself, and I don't want to make anyone feel like they have to make sure that they're timing their cooldowns for the raid and things like that, is because back in the day, just doing that was an incredible feat in and of itself. Now, it's still not trivial to do it. It's not expected that you do it like outside of the highest level of content. But other than that, it's a lot more approachable. Yeah, Andromeda's working on sort of it's sort of a pseudo blind. All I have to work with is maybe seeing someone else's clear. That's pretty much all I've had as a prep for this. And it's not easy. Here come the Topper Stones. Oh dear. You're about to do X4 or the new trial? You're still at the... Oh, you haven't finished the new MSQ yet. I see. Yesterday I was trying the new extreme trial. It's very confusing. I didn't beat it, but I only went in for one session. It was kind of late. But I thought it was... Oh no. Can we kill that? We might be able to kill that. I don't think we can kill that before it casts whatever spell it is that it has going. Is this death? This is death. Oh dear. Andromeda, I didn't watch a guide. For Extreme Trial I did watch a guide. Yes. I watched Hector's guide. And I pretty much just right. That was a little confusing. That setup was the opposite of what we saw earlier, and there was a lot of things going wrong with the ad. Oh well. I went in for with a group that had not done the 4th trial on Extreme, like they hadn't completed it, and it seemed like a lot of people were there possibly for the first time. The thing is that we were sort of intending to go near that top as AoE. It makes a little bit of sense. It's because we sort of know when it's gonna blow. So it's okay to stand in it for the first half of the dash. It's really hard. It's more important to get the idol on the follow-up, but it seems like the other mages have this covered. In our triple mage composition, don't do this at home. This is not what we call a balanced team. Oh, doing a little circuit. I hope you got my answer on the job design thing, Tara. I don't think I feel like I said what I wanted to say on that. You can lose a little bit your train of thought when you're also doing some difficult content at the same time. So if you feel like I didn't really like finish up on something and you actually have more questions than answers, then you're welcome to let me know. Let me see if I can... Okay, I cannot hurt my my teammate. Okay, no ad this time. Awesome. I'm just gonna put out my Radiant Aegis. ahead of time, in case there's something I can't recall. Oh, the Ruby Glow, that's an excellent thing to have Radiant Aegis for. And this thing is also great to have it for. Oh, okay. I didn't. Ow. I didn't need any tanks anyway. Ah. So the thing that kills us there is that the rush that the boss does is a knockback. And then it also does damage on the sides of the room that it passes. So the first dash only passes one half of the room. So he like dashes through one half of the room, turns around and dashes through the entire room. And we need to have the knockback immunity for it, and then make sure you're not on the topper side when that explodes on the second dash. And then also make sure that you have the knockback immunity up in time when he dashes you. There's a lot for that particular mechanic. And the ale lasts. Excellent. You didn't like the normal version? I actually really enjoyed the normal version of this one. Although I did realize when I did it that there were some people in my group that was there for the second time. Like I could tell from the way that they ran ahead on mechanics where it wasn't at all obvious what you were supposed to do. But if you're having trouble with a specific mechanic on normal, then maybe practicing the normal version might help you a little bit with understanding certain mechanics on Savage. Like the wall things. Find my partner. Lead the way. I'm linked to you. Oh no. Okay. We have an agreement. And we have a dead. Oh, there was an ad. Well, on the other hand, there was no point trying to kill it because last time we didn't make it either. You'll probably yeet yourself on Fence Kun before Ugly Kabungle yeets you. Oh. I watched my rage stream after you did it the first time so that you understood the... Oh, okay. I see. Well, I'm glad that that it was helpful. It's a little bit like watching your own footage back. Instead, you're just watching someone else's footage back. That's really awesome that you found it helpful. And when we go again, I might as well eat my third portion of pudding. And we have the Sonic Howl. And coming up is the mass, yes. And out into the room. We have to soak pools in a moment. I should start making sure that I put my Phoenix heal on Rouge instead. Partner! Are we doing this one? Okay. You got it. I'll stay out. I don't actually want that dot. Oh, and we have an ad. Who's to say we have enough damage to kill it in time? I'll try. I'll really give it my best shot. It is not possible. It's just not. I'm just gonna walk out. Is the way you analyzed what was going to happen, you wrote them down. Oh! Awesome! I wasn't sure how interesting it was to just listen to me rattle off what's gonna happen next, like some JoJo's Bizarre Adventure call out. But I'm glad you found it super helpful. A Ruby Glow sounds like a raid wide Caracol. Yeah, that's actually a good idea. I actually spent quite some time looking for a group when I went in here, because I wanted to make sure that I got a group that was relatively chill, so that people wouldn't get mad and give up really quickly. And these guys seem awesome. So, all things considered, we've stopped having people step in the puddle here, so that's good. That's good. That's progress. Fence going my best friend. Ah. And both summoners drop the heal on the same person again. We just have this this power, I guess. Oh, I have my friend. I don't know why she steps into the puddle that long in advance. I think we're dead. There's an ad. Yeah, that's it. Ow. Just gonna make sure everyone knows. Pools to damage every single second that you're just hanging out in them. Oh, it types so fast. 18 years of practice. Go in here. Did you get everyone? Uh-oh. find my partner. There she is. Okay, you give it to that guy, then I'll give it to the other guy. Seems we got it a lot better this time. So the strategy we have for those pairs is that the tanks and healers lead and then the DPS just follow. Which is why I'm like, I have a really good idea of where I want to go. But ultimately, it's the healer that makes the decision at the end of the day. So I'm just following them. It's better to follow them and get it sort of right than refuse. Uh-oh. I had a keybind malfunction. So I accidentally switched my keyboard's language, so my keybind for surecast didn't work. Maybe I'll just move it over one. Oh, I didn't see the order these spawned in, so I'll just excellent. So that mechanic you really need, like we haven't gotten past it or seen it much, but I know you have to see the order they spawn in, otherwise you have no chance. And I was in the resurrection screen while they were spawning, so there was no chance. This is fun. It's really hard, but it is fun. I was a little afraid that it would be a lot more just tedious or painful, but it helps as long as people are staying positive. Whenever you do dungeons and trials with your friends, you always just shadow the best one. That is a strategy, but you see, when I do content with my friends, it would maybe not surprise you, but I'm the friend. So, like, I have genuinely gotten my friends killed sometimes because, oops, I got it wrong, but I used a defensive cooldown, so I'm good, but on the other hand, they're not. Or I use a knockback immunity. Someone talking about Bahamut size. I always apologize when I accidentally lead someone astray. I do want to say, I found the P123 music a lot more boring than this one. I really enjoy these for new encounters with music. Find my friend. My friend is here. I have found the way. I found the way to hurt my healer friend. I just lead a little bit, but then they'll come all on their own. I don't even have to say anything. Ruby glow. But then later. Now that I actually saw it preemptively. Okay. Might be a little bit of science time. Okay, it's only... Oh. Right. Of course. Right, of course. Right. If it dashes towards the topper side, just stay outside of the topper side entirely. Just stay out of it. It makes way more sense, and just get the knockback immunity. And it seems like my hypothesis that the knockback does not apply if you're on the correct side is true. Okay, the pulls are coming through a little fast now, so I'm having a little bit of trouble getting time to read chat. I'll try my best. Need to find my partner. There she is. We have a problem. Okay, I managed to claim this particular one for my team. Whether that's a good or a bad thing is not important, because we got all of them. Okay, so I remember. Watch where the boss is looking. Go the opposite side. And now knockback. And we res our friend. And then we pray that we'll survive. That was a very smart passage of arms, actually. And here comes the disaster. pretty sure it was this. And then this. Oh man! I did it! I got it! We're still dead, but I got it! Ow. You did some research ahead, Tara, and you saw that the chitin was removed. Yeah, that was a sad day. I miss chitin, and I don't even main samurai. It's Sylphie stage of healing. Well, it takes time to master all of those steps of planning all of your healing. You'll get it over time. Hey, this team, we're really going hard now. Like, it's immediate pull timer every time we wipe. And one more. Here comes the topper stones. Great, I'm really happy it was over here because I was kinda slow if it was where I thought it was initially. Yeah, chitin is the level 52 skill. It actually is present in even my level 50 primer for samurai because it was such an extremely crucial skill to master that it was important to warn people picking up samurai that it was something they would have to deal with. Uh-oh. That was very impressive. That was like the latest timing you could possibly do that. And here comes the ruby flow, so we give it a little later. It's so much damage. Okay, we have the topaz stones. So we look, where is it? We look, where is it looking? Okay, we stick over here. And now surecast. And res our friend. And Sonic Howl, and then we hope we survive. And here comes the disaster. The crazy topper stones. Okay. I'm not confident. Okay. There's like a pattern to it. It's really hard to see it, but there is technically a pattern to it. Right now I'm not super confident in the fact that I'm a summoner and the spell effects on a summoner are so overwhelming that it might be difficult to see right then and there. I might have to like plan which summon I'm calling out at that moment. Ow. Oh, I believe we needed to be pairs for that. Or teams. Okay, now I have a moment. Healers were more complicated before. It's hard to say, really. There was some, like, there were more differences between them in some aspects, and in others there was not. Astrologian especially is the one that really was different back in the day, with how its cards works. Section. Ah. Yeah, so the chitin, in my Samurai Primer Andromeda, there's actually a really nice sort of close-up in the later part of the video, where I show it off. It's a very nice flourish with the katana, but the purpose of it is that it makes your next weapon skill do 50% more damage, which mainly meant that you used it on the Iaijutsus like Midare Setsugekka, which is why Midare Setsugekka's potency was completely reworked when they removed chitin. Comically, they nerfed it, if I remember correctly, but I might be wrong on that one. Yeah, regarding chitin, if you watch my Andromeda, if you watch my high-level samurai guide, you'll see that I spent a very large amount of the guide talking about how you manage your kenki to make sure that you have enough at all times to do your chitin. All of that is completely meaningless now, by the way. That's like, I would say, like 25% of the video at the very least was dedicated to just that, and they just removed the mechanic completely. But like, it might be interesting as a little time capsule, as outside of that weird thing, the guide is mostly applicable still, I would say. Okay. How you would survive with a black mage with this? There's a lot of planning. That's why it's really difficult to start raiding with black mage. Like, you have to be really good at learning your spots, because while everyone else can gradually move their way over to spots, black mages are almost beholden to the slide casting. and their triple casts. There's not a lot. So, despite everything, I think what's really good is that we get a lot of tries where we get to the double rush, because I did see a lot of parties that were posted earlier that were specifically stuck on the double rush part. So this is really good to learn it, so that we can get past it at a later date. But I can try and see if I can like do mechanics a little bit more loudly to explain what's happening for you guys. Do you feel like it's a little difficult to keep an overview at all? So first we have a raid wide. And there's a very small raid wide, all things considered. And then we have a way stronger raid wide. And then topaz stones are placed. So you can see on 2 spots there's circle areas, tiny circle areas, and on 2 other spots there are green crystals. The green crystals apply a poison effect that is extremely brutal, so you don't want to touch it if you can avoid it. The small circle areas are fake. They actually explode in the entire like square room they're in. So if you don't stay out of those rooms, you presumably die outright. Now we have some tank stuff. And here we have a mechanic. So these pools, if you need 2 people in each of the pools. If you're missing some, and both people also need to survive dealing with the pool. If a pool isn't properly soaked, a lively bait spawns that has so much health that you can't feasibly kill it before it explodes. And if it explodes, and it will, then you take a monstrous amount of damage. And everyone gets a damage down debuff, which basically means that we're not gonna kill this boss in time, even if we made it through all of its mechanics. Here we have the room again. So now it places down 2 topaz stones, or 1 topaz stone and 1 green one. What matters is that because the room is caught in the middle, we only really care about not being on the topaz side of the room. And these dashes knock you back, so while it's doing that, you also have to time your knockback immunity. There's not anywhere you can go, so you have to use the knockback immunity. Fortunately, the next time it does that mechanic is so far in the future that your knockback immunity should be back by then. And now we have more rooms, so it's gonna put down crystals in sequence. So you can see here we have in D and B, and then in the opposite. I think so the trick is to figure out specifically where is the first pair landing and where's the third set landing, because the first pair is like in a cross shape either on B and D or C and A, and then the second pair is the opposite, so you just flip it. The third part, the third drop will drop on B, C, D, or like it'll drop on 3 of them, and so there's only going to be 1/4 of the room that is safe. And the fourth one will be on the opposite side across. So if like C is safe on 3, then A is safe on 4. But the difficult part is seeing where 3 is. That's the difficult part. Andromeda, yeah, it's sort of like the Titania one, but we specifically need 2 people in each of them. I think 1 is enough on Titania, but I might remember that wrong. So I hope me going over the mechanics we've seen a little bit might make it a little easier to follow all this that's happening. If you still feel a little lost, that's totally fine. That's why Savage raiding is really, really hard. The hardest part is the mechanics. Is it here? Yes, it's here. I feel like we're getting these configurations where you have tons of space a lot recently. It's way easier to deal with it that way. Can I hurt my healer over here? Yes, I can. Excellent. I think they get it. I think they've understood that I really like this corner. Uh-oh. Yeah. They just said reset. I get that. Honestly, if we see the lively bait, then there's a very, very small chance we're even gonna see a new mechanic at this point. Like, it might look like we're not getting anywhere, but what I think is important is that we're getting a lot of practice on many of these fundamental mechanics in this boss fight specifically. And also because it is the first big part, like, if you can do these first few mechanics consistently, then you're much more likely to get to the further mechanics. We have the ruby glow. Thank you, Andromeda. See you. Good night, I think, right? I don't expect that I will get a clear on this boss tonight. Just as a little, I guess. Uh-oh. Just to admit, I'm not, expecting it to work out like that. Oh. A lot of practice would be fun, and hopefully me giving a shot with Party Finder getting somewhere. Who knows? Maybe someone might feel inspired to try themselves. That would be really awesome. And here comes the Topaz. Oh, and it's a good configuration. Oh boy. Never mind. Well, if we're seeing this mechanic anyway, let's see it. Okay, we're not seeing it. Never mind. I didn't want to see it anyway, it's okay. Okay, there's one in the team that's on the... Okay, someone else was already done, I guess. Well, I have enough time to wait for replacements, but I guess they were really done. Like, really, really done. Huh. Well, right back into the queue we go then. That sounds like a good team. Do they want me? Well, now I have some time to just talk, I guess. Be very entertaining. So, or maybe not. Was that the whole team? That was pretty much like the psych out. I thought I had some time and immediately we're ready to go again. So we go again. That was very lucky. When I was setting up the stream, I think I spent like a good 20 minutes looking at parties to make sure that I found just the right one. I have time for at least one full more session of this. My inventory, I have a setting on that you can go into the configuration and set that makes it so that your entire inventory is shown in just one big screen. I can't remember where it is right now. Item settings. I believe it might be this. So it's under character configuration and item settings. There's some options you can choose to make it so that your entire inventory shows in a single button press. Is that what you meant, Tara? Oh, yeah. No, I don't have more spaces than any other player. I just cleaned out my inventory very thoroughly the other day, like really thoroughly. Did this group say it was blind? I can't remember if it said it was blind. Also, Tara, you remember that you have the Chocobo saddlebag. You just can't access it while you're in content, but if you have unlocked it, then you have like a good 50% extra inventory space. Is 3 the wrong position? Ding dong. What's happening here? We have the war of the markers. You filled up all that space? Well, I have a lot of things that I've kept that I probably could do something with. But yeah, it might be a good idea to see if you can get rid of some of the items, like to make a little bit of extra money. Oh boy. Okay. Okay, so one of the ranged is melee 1 this time. That is a very interesting position. Why would they want this specifically? I'm not sure what mechanic they want this for. But I'm just not gonna say anything because I can't remember if it said blind run, and if it did, then I don't want to say anything. And if it didn't, well, then we're gonna see very quickly. Now I have to adjust my cooldown a little bit because I don't have a second summoner. Good call! Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I mean, that works. Two ads. We're dead. We're just dead. Can't remember if the group said blind. That could work. Someone is suggesting just pair the tanks, the healers, the melee, and the ranged. That means I have to pair with someone else this time. I was pairing with the Scholar for a moment. Just in a random guess. They decided to stack with me. They're noting that they spawned on specific spots. Unfortunately, they're sort of completely random. Someone suggested using focus target today to coordinate where your partner is, and that's a really good idea. Then you don't need to you don't need a marker that everyone can see. You can just personally see
your friend. That situation with the sliding over there is going to be very problematic if they do that when we get a different configuration later. This is a problem. Ooh. They are random, someone did state. Well, we are getting further somehow, some way. That's just how it is sometimes when you're in Party Finder. You'll have to reprogress something that you thought was completely down. Because this new group or other group does not have it down yet. Mm-hmm. Are we just up here? Yeah. A little bit of a discussion on the pools and how to soak it. And yeah, 2 players per puddle. I'll just be the one that follows. I'll let the other ranged make the choice. If they want to make the choice. But I'm pretty sure that that someone has a little bit more ability to run for a while than a red mage has, like on a whim. Tanks and melee should prioritize the closer ones. Yeah, there's actually a lot of time to plan that whole puddle situation when they land. The problem is that because you're 2 people that need to coordinate together, it becomes a little stressful. Just hold hands with your pair. I will. Alright. So are we going again? Yes. Here we go. And we have the raid wide. And then comes the bigger raid wide. Oh. It's always so much, like, scary amounts of damage. Like, it feels like you've done something wrong when you see those amounts. I'm pretty sure this is where we're supposed to be. But I don't think that the other tank has realized that. Did they touch it? I'm pretty sure they died because the tank died. We'll test this. We'll practice the pool thing. It's okay. And then we wipe. Just gonna explain to the tank that it's okay to follow the team. We had a completely different configuration on the crystals spawning, so that's exactly what I was expecting would happen when we got that leaf would have problems, because they were tanking it in a very specific way. AoE TB? What is the most story-wise crafting gathering job? Do you mean the most enjoyable? Or my favorite? Or what do you mean, Tara? The most... I don't quite understand the question, I think. What is the most crafting or gathering? Sarah, the most what? Well, this red mage really has got it down. That was really nice. We're still dead though, but it was really nice. There are like crafter and gatherer quest lines with stories and everything. Is your question whether like which ones are best? Like I just need to understand your question, because your initial question was just what is the most story-wise. But like which one has the best story? Is that your question? Okay, that was your question. Alright, let me think. Most of them are really, like, really far away. Because it's a long time since I did them. But, just a moment. I think you both died. I think, when I think about it, I feel like the leatherworking one might have been really good, but I can't remember for certain. I feel like I remember that maybe the weaver one had some really funny things about it. But maybe that's the goldsmith one. Like I can't really have a hard time remembering. All of them have stories, and all of them make sense, and have like interesting characters. It's just very different. I wouldn't choose to level a crafter based on whether its story is good, because ultimately you will need to level all of the crafters to be very effective at max level. I hope that that works, because like I genuinely can't remember most of them. Like the one thing that could be interesting is like if you've done the monk storyline, then you might find the goldsmith storyline interesting, because there's a little bit of overlap in characters, if I remember correctly. Oh boy. I don't think we're gonna get much further on this particular try. I would say, like, if you mostly I would say the jobs or the crafters that use something like more easily accessible by botanists and miners, like for instance carpenter or armorer or blacksmith, might be easier to level first, because then you can almost get by with just gathering yourself, while crafters that depend on specific loot drops like weavers and leatherworkers, and you have to go out and farm mobs, which is extremely inefficient. And I would say culinarian and alchemist, they tend to require a lot of different materials, so that it can be very tedious to get the materials that you need. So I would recommend carpenter, or armorer, blacksmith, or maybe goldsmith. That would be my suggestions for where you could start. That's a long list, but you could take that list and go, okay, well, you play healers, so maybe it makes more sense to go with goldsmith, for instance, because then you can make in some capacity you can make your own jewelry. Oh, my red mage partner had spied out the pool they wanted ages ago. I'm just like coming in, really phoning it in. Did we actually get them all? That's impressive. I think I ghosted my Radiant Aegis there. I just have to cast the other one. I really feel like having a shield right about now. We're seeing something they haven't seen before, so now it gets very exciting. Bum, 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 bum. Well, well. Just explaining how the rush mechanic works, for those that don't know. So basically you need to use the knockback immunity for the second dash, but the first dash you don't. But you need to use it for the second one. There's no finessing it. No, I forgot to use Adel there. Whoops. That was a passage of arms at least. Okay, time to locate my partner. Are you going for the way back in the room? Oh, we're wiping this. This is not gonna work. Nope. That's it. It was done the moment that the tank died, and we didn't have enough people. we continue. Alright, and then we use Adel for this one. Now we have the tight configuration again. Spot a partner. Did he just get one-shotted? Oh. Those tank busters are so scary amounts of damage. Feels like they almost get killed immediately. Okay, we're back to the rush mechanic. That's good news. Let's see if people got it when we explained it. What? Did I just die from damage? Hmm. I'm pretty sure I was on the right side. Weird. I think I was too close to the center. The center line that it dashes through is, I think that was something that killed people on it. Sometimes. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm pretty sure that was it. Well, I can see people are like discussing what is going wrong. So that's what really matters, is that people are like observing things they can do different. That's really what makes the difference when you're progressing. I think that tank switch went a lot better, I think. Oh no. I don't think they're gonna make that. Wait, they did? Perfect. We can continue. And next up is the rush again. Oh, I was slow on the knockback immunity. That was what killed me last time, it seems. I should repair my gear. Ooh. Ah, of course. It seems that the crystals single-handedly won't kill you, but the problem is that there's like 2 in each room. And that usually they're paired with something else that'll kill you. We're gonna have some more mitigation on the dash, it seems. We're taking that a lot better. I guess there was a lot more mitigation up for this. Oh dear. Get up a shield just because. Just sit and whoa, never mind. I was gonna sit on the heal and then I figure out that it's not for keeping. Friend? Ow. Oh well. That was a brain fart moment. It's alright. Right, repair my gear. Ah. Marking the melees, I guess. That was probably the most inconvenient style that those crystals have fallen today. And the free shield. Uh-oh. My partner's down. Okay, they're coming. Okay, we figured it out. Right in the very last moment. That means we get to the cross room with the rush again. And the topper stones. Just rest somebody. But I think we're still dead. Somehow we're alive. But here comes another ruby glow. I think it was back here. That means it's here. Well, we got that far. We're dead now, I think, but we got that far. Well, there's another person. Wait, how did I survive that? I'm supposed to stack for that? Oh, you're supposed to stack for that. Someone says that the pattern there is always the same. But I'm pretty sure it's not entirely the same. It's just that it's going to be cross opposite. And then it's going to be one safe corner and then the opposite safe corner. Yeah, I didn't believe so, Zane. I'm glad you're there to agree with me. Let's see if I can explain that in text. They say it's always southwest, northwest, northeast, southwest. Really? Well, let's see that then. Now I'm curious if we're talking about the same mechanic. You say, Saint says, Squall is normally split party stack, then you stack in the middle to bait the boss, then you scatter cardinally to avoid the damage. Yeah, that sounds reasonable. I think maybe the mechanic Shatiel was talking about, saying it was always the same, was the dashes around the room, maybe? Because the way they were explaining it sounded like something that I've seen regarding that. But I'm not entirely confident on that one. You know, having all of the markers like this, where they match color in pairs, makes it a lot easier to see if a different pair is already like parked up at a spot, so you back off and let them have it. Other mechanic is the inverse. I see. I'm not 100% sure on the mechanic, because I've only reached the dashing around like once. But we're getting further consistently, even if we had a major mechanic mishap right now. Pretty sure it was this and this. Well, hey Brandon. I'm sure, Zane, that this is exactly right. The stacking with the with the bait and everything sounds exactly like what I've seen. Yeah, it's exactly the topaz cluster is the mechanic that I thought Shatiel said was consistent, like that there was only one pattern to. but I'm pretty sure that it is mostly random. It's just that there's so few different combinations that it can do that it feels consistent. How are you, Brandon? Yeah, exactly. I thought that it would be random. It's just that because of the way that the mechanic pans out, the first two like explosions there only exists two possible combinations. And like the third and fourth explosion, there are 4 options, and they're pairwise. They're pairwise in the same way. So it feels like it's something you could easily guess that it is consistent and reliable like that, but it's not. And the melee team's dead. Oh boy. Ow. Oh, okay, cool, Brandon. Yeah, I got home from work, and the first thing I did was just grind to get my tomes caps that I could go in here with 2 pieces. And then I started when I was ready and found a team. I'm on the Chaos Data Center in Europe. It's going fine. It's just, I believe this party was starting from the very start. So like we've had, like, even though my first party that I started with over like 2 hours ago, we didn't get further than this party has, I think. Like with a mostly surviving party. Which is good news. I'm doing well. As long as we're learning something, then that's good to me. And it seems like we're learning something, and apparently I learned that my food buff ran out. Are you starting from P5S, Brandon? And I guess, Zane, I'm guessing that you've been doing Savage yourself, or are currently doing it, maybe? Okay, Sarah. Have a good evening. Thank you for coming. And thank you. Yeah, you're right, Zane. Like, it's probably like nearly impossible to progress on like with a completely random group when you don't have a set tactic that you can just follow. Like right now, we're each individually just doing the best thing we can and like the best we know, to the best of our ability. But technically, we're all playing a solo game, which is not optimal. While if we were on voice comms, then it would be a lot easier, probably. Although these first few mechanics don't require a lot of communication. Not a lot of communication that you would be able to perform on voice comms anyway. Like, I'm pretty sure that the time you have to deal with these puddles is too short to be able to coordinate much that you haven't planned beforehand. Oh, and Brandon, you'll be starting T5S tonight. Well, if you're going with Party Finder groups, then I can say that it is fun. It's difficult. It's fun. Ow. I didn't get to rest the tank. I didn't even get the chance. Zane, you said you finished it earlier. Is it, are you raiding in a static, Zane? That is really, like, the Topaz clusters is really the killer, isn't it? Ah, you're on a break. Alright. Are you, like, going to, like, are you going really hardcore raiding until you're done this week? Or is it you're raiding a few days? And if you get it, you get it? Don't know if that makes sense, but some raid teams go really hardcore until you beat the final boss, and some raid teams, you know, raid a little bit every week. I think there's still there's some in the party that's still trying to figure out whether the Topaz clusters has a fixed or predictable pattern to it. Like, because of the amount of combinations, it's possible that there is a predictable pattern to it, but it's just hard to see. See, my partner's over here. This looks like a good chance of getting further. don't think I made that. I guess I did. Did get my shield in just before. And here comes the hard part. Or the part where we usually wipe on. I think it was here? It was not here. It was there. It's a casual raid team, so we raid 4 days this week, and if we get it, we get it. You took some time off, so you're raiding 8 hours a day. Oh. Okay, so apparently they said that 4131 worked. Maybe there is a pattern to it. Let's see. That both sounds like fun, especially if you really enjoy savage raiding. It also sounds really rough, especially if you don't get it. The last one. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. The last blast. The last blast is opposite to the second to last blast, as you say. I agree. We're going out for repairs apparently. And the first and the second blasts are also, of course, opposite each other. The thing is that I don't know if there's a connection between where those blasts land, like the first two and the last two. Is there anything you can predict based on that? And then according to some people in this team, based on the markers we had, they said that going to the marker 4 and then 131, I think. If 4131, yeah, supposedly worked. So have you gotten far on P6s, Thane? Or did you get P5s and then you're taking a break? Hmm. Eight. Oh, okay. Like, did you get it down to 20%, or do you mean you got it to 80%? Either way, that's great.
It would be really funny if people discovered that the save spot on the Topaz cluster is exactly the same every time. But I really doubt that it is. Ah, okay. We got to 80% of the health of the boss. Some of the swap mechanics. Yeah, I saw that. I saw a little bit of footage of that. That the swap mechanic it uses on normal targets players. I mean, I didn't see how it worked, but I did see that like there was those markers. Does it swap places with you, or does it swap a debuff? A little bit of discussion on whether we should have markers over our heads or we just need focus targets. I don't know, I didn't mind it. That wasn't exactly the issue on the last tries, I don't think, that we had visual clutter from the markers. And the red mage just said that they're playing on 12 FPS. But I hope they're joking. But they might not be. But I really enjoy a fight where you know what you're supposed to be doing, and the hard part is doing it, way more than a fight where it just feels like it's chaos. Like I tried the new Extreme Trial yesterday, and the hardest part about it was just keeping an overview of everything that was happening at once. So if you're saying that the swap mechanics are a little bit confusing, then I totally get it. Totally get why that would be very exhausting to deal with. That was nice. We got there from across the map. Oh dear. Are we losing a tank?
That was a super polite. Well, we tried. It was not 4-1-3-1. That was the answer. Not sure about the swap mechanic. Sometimes you would get it, sometimes not so much. You're not very good at remembering things for too long. Ah, okay. Yeah, if it's like memorize this for a long time, then that can be really tough. Makes me think of what's it, E12, where they like stock a mechanic and then just go, can you remember what it was? But we just got the proof here that it's not so much a set in stone pattern that you can just follow a number sequence. For good or bad. Knowing what to do and following set instructions is easier than figure out the mechanics. Yeah. That's how it's gonna be in like a week when we have all of the guides. And it's just gonna be follow the optimal strategy that someone else figured out. But some people enjoy that, or even prefer that, and I understand. I don't really mind either way that much. Let's see, where's my partner? They're over there. Okay, so we're not failing the puddle mechanic anymore, that's good. So much damage. I should have used Adel for that. Whoops. Missed out on a Bahamut attack there. Yeah, sometimes it's nice figuring out the mechanic on your own, but on the other hand, it's not so nice to bash your head against it for 6 hours. The less nice part about it. But it's a relief when you do get it, right? Okay, we got mostly through it this time. That's pretty good. Venom Squall. Okay, so what was that? was really funny. Just the most instant wipe out of nowhere. That was not a set pattern, you have to watch out. It might help to say it out loud. The thing is that I had a little bit of a hard time seeing exactly what marker it was over on the other side. It was good. The thing is, I was pretty confident that there was no set pattern, but just based on the fact that they believed it so deeply that it was a thing, I wanted to give it I had hope that maybe they were onto something, but it's probably for the better. Aha, so I have to step on 1 when we get to Venom Squall. Wait, you need to stack in 2 parties? Is that blob that killed us, was that supposed to be shared in 2 groups of 4? Oh. I'm gonna propose it. Yeah, I tried to convince them, but they have the timer going and we have someone lagging. We'll see if we get to the mechanic again, and then maybe they'll see when we wipe because we didn't do it right. We'll try the spread, and if we survive it, then that's good. If we don't survive it, then that's just how it goes. But I do trust that what you're saying is true, Zane. It's just that if you have a group of players that are trying to figure something out, just one guy going, okay, so listen, I know a guy who says what the mechanic is. They might be not too inclined to believe you just out the gate, unfortunately. But I believe you. Like, after all, you beat it. So, I don't think you would be able to beat it if you didn't understand that particular mechanic. So.
Ruby glow. I think it was here. It was not here. Venom Surge? That killed specifically the healers. Right, so it seems like Venom Surge was the 4 stack, right? Look at the light beams and not the crystals. That's a good suggestion, I'll try that. Thank you, Zane. I appreciate it. Oh, and Leaf got the dot. And Leaf is dead. Ooh. That means there's a tank mix up in a little bit. And now I managed to dip my own toes in it and mess up my rotation as well. Awesome! That was a great pull. I don't think this is something we'll recover from, but two ads. Yeah. No point trying to recover that. Yep. Hug the wall, reset. And top us stones.
A little bit of a start this time. And that went good as well. You watched my Black Mage guide the other day. That's awesome. I'm glad you found it helpful. I will have to say that I'm a lot better at Black Mage in a vacuum against a striking dummy than in a raid setting. But I'm glad that the guide could get you started. Or get you further, I should say. I don't know if you mentioned it earlier, but what job do you raid as, Zane? Yeah, this is a dying party. There's not really a point in racing. Ow. How long does the debuff last on tank after Toxic Crunch? Oh, you watch it frequently? Oh. That's awesome! Like, that's really like the best thing you can do is just repetition. You raid as Reaper. That's a good choice. Like, if I were to raid as a melee, I could see myself playing Reaper. I just tend to prefer mages. I'll try to see if I can see it, Brandon. Comes from Toxic Crunch. Isn't it the... I thought it was the venomous mass that was doing the armor crush thing. Is that the one you were thinking of? You're scared of Summoner. I actually decided to raid a Summoner because I feel like it's, in my mind, one of the most brain-dead jobs to play, but that is meant as a good thing, not a bad thing. I think the physical vuln up from a Venomous Mass lasts 15 seconds. But if you do mean the debuff from Toxic Crunch, specifically, then that seems to last 10 seconds, the dot. Yeah, I do genuinely think that Summon is really easy. most of the things that you're watching for, like if you can watch my rotation if you want. You can see that I'm pretty much going through like a checklist. It's almost a perfect sequence every time, and it's not like this is the sequence I would do on a striking dummy. And because it's mostly ranged, I don't have to, I barely have to think. That's how I see it. That's not to say that it's easy for everyone. I would recommend I would recommend Summoner as like a starting job for new players, but other people would find it extremely difficult. Yeah, Brandon, so both tanks get the damage over time effect, but the first tank gets an armor crush that requires you to tank switch. And because it lasts so long, well, it requires the tank switch. Ah, dang it. I was looking at the lights, but it feels like my screen is just too small. But Zane, there's so many things that you can optimize on when you're maining a job that what I see on Reaper is that because you have the capacity to optimize, like doing things like enshrouds in rather quick succession, it means that I would have to consider doing that if I was maining Reaper. Meanwhile, Summoner is so strict, you don't have a lot of wiggle room to do anything fancy, so it's very easy for me to deal with. Because I don't have that. There is no fancy tricks. It's very straightforward. But if you don't get the basic pattern of the job, then it's not easy. Then it's very, very hard. So I'm not saying that Summoner is easy for everyone. I'm just saying that it feels very easy to pilot Summoner for me. You'll try Summoner? You were looking for a DPS with a res. Well, both works. So if I could imagine that it would be like if you want to have a secondary job that has that is a DPS with a res, then it might be a good idea to give both a try to see what you like better. I very much considered raiding with Red Mage instead. And there's the Venomous Mass. And next coming up is the Cross Rupee Walls. I'm getting to the point where my rotation is so predictable that I can like see what mechanic is sort of coming up just based on where I am in my rotation. Yeah, exactly. There's like Reaper has a lot of things you can like tricks you can master, which is a good thing if you enjoy that. Okay, I think I saw this was a safe spot. So I've started to find that I feel like it's somehow easier to see the fourth pattern in Topaz Cluster than the third one. So if I just see what the fourth pattern is and then reverse it, then I can figure out what the third pattern is. Ow. Well, I sure do have guides on both of them, like both Red Mage and Summon, and they should be up to date. As far as I know, there hasn't been very much change in either one. The long openers. Oh, looks like we're wiping it. I remember back in Shadowbringers, the summoner opener was pretty hard, but that was more because the summoner functioned on like a 2-minute rigid rotation, and if you made a mistake, then it could hurt you like 30 seconds or even a minute down the line. In Endwalker, like the opener is pretty much just do what you would do anyway. Like, here's the opener, you do Bahamut, Searing Light, and then you just walk through all of your cooldowns. The only finesse you can do is if you know people are gonna use their cooldowns kinda slow, then you can delay yours. That's kind of the biggest finesse, because you have a 15-second window to use your attacks. As long as you get them out, you can wait up to like 10 seconds on your Bahamut attacks, and it'll be perfectly fine. You just have to be a little bit more on point if you wait that long. But right now, because we have no expectations of seeing the Enrage or be near a kill, I'm just focusing more on following the opener as I know it right now, which optimizes around my own Searing Light. Let's see, where's my friend? It's over there. So in Shadowbringers, Summoner was completely different. I don't know, like if you played in Shadowbringers, you might remember that. I have like I have both a low-level guide for old-style Summoner back in Shadowbringers, and I also have a video specifically on how Summoner was at max level in Shadowbringers. But because it was completely reworked now, Summoner is one of the easiest, like, or simplest jobs in the game in terms of how many tools they have to work with. Back in Shadowbringers, Summoner was, I believe, like, some believed it was the hardest job to play in the game, and it was simultaneously also one of the best DPS in the game. Now its DPS is a lot more in line with its mobility, which is extremely high. Like, the vast majority of the time you can just run around if you want to. Oh boy. Ow. Yeah, I do have guides on the job. Actually, I believe my most viewed video on my channel is my starter guide for summoners in Endwalker, because while everyone else were making endgame, like max level guides, I made one for level 1 to 50. Right at the release of Endwalker. So, like, if you need some some guidelines to start. But I'm glad that you feel inspired to try it. That's great. Now I need to find my friend, and they're over there. I actually think that mechanic is really fun. It's a little cute, because you gotta like run around the arena trying to find your partner. It's pain for melee DPS. Yeah. Yeah. A boss mechanic. Can I deal with it without getting out of range of the boss? I can see that. Like, that's why I like to tank as warrior, because I feel like most of the other tanks, if you're even a moment away from the boss... let me focus on this. Pretty sure it was here. Excellent. Yeah, all other tanks than warrior, it feels like if you're away from the boss for just a single second, it sort of messes with your rotation. It's not so much with Dark Knight, but it's really, really painful with Gunbreaker and Paladin, especially Paladin, because you have this whole sequence that you want to go through, but if you delay it by even a moment, then that was less great. This mechanic keeps sneaking up on me somehow. Thank you. Now I just have to be more consistent on getting the Topaz Cluster there. I think it's because I'm so relieved that I get the cluster mechanic correct, that you're like, yes, I did it, and then the next mechanic goes, oh, but you're not done, remember? Very easy to just repair your own gear. And 80. Leaf over there getting offered an arm, or getting offered a hand and takes an arm and gets the poison leaf. Oh. First priority rest, my friend. And the tank's dead. And we're hard casting a rest. Excellent. Well, let it not be said that the mage squad didn't do their duty. That's a wipe. You can at least breathe after the squall. Yeah, because the tail to claw tail makes easy to solve. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we see that mechanic occur each time right after we've wiped. That's really funny. That's the exciting part, getting past this particular mechanic with the squall and surge. Now we get the very, very, very lenient pattern again. Let's see if the tank decides to get the poison again. Oh boy. I get why they're doing it. It's because it gives Meep over there, the Dragoon, an opportunity to get to get to the back for extra damage. It makes sense. It's just also unnecessarily dangerous for us for pushing some DPS that we don't really need right now. Next coming up is the Ruby Wars. The idea is good of like turning the boss like that. It's just it's not something we can rely on happening anyway. And I don't think we're getting the boss to 50%. I've at least not been paying enough attention to tell if we are. Yeah, I think I might have confused myself. Yep. Ah, I didn't have enough health to survive it. Ah, well. Alright, so this one was spread, bait, and stack. Wow, those puddles right after. He's just jumping around the entire place, and you're supposed to deal with the puddle mechanics that like resolve immediately after. Yeah, exactly, as you said, Zane. The opposite. Oh right, that's of course the jump mechanic. I actually thought that jump was something completely different than when you just bounced around. But that makes sense. I have seen groups specifically talking about that. Jumping around is easy. There are 2 patterns. Okay. Someone did ask if there was a pattern to it. There are 2 patterns. There is a genuine probability that we might not properly get to that mechanic because it's really getting late for me as well. But I'll see. I think I can stay this session out, but then I'll probably have to go after that. Jumps around in a clockwise direction 4 times and then anti-clockwise for the last 4 times. Oh, okay, so I guess is the other pattern the opposite? I'll sacrifice a GCD of my Phoenix to rest my friend. Now hopefully they'll be alive to attend this one. I do think they might die though. Oop, we got it. Was it correct that the other pattern of the jumps is the opposite, so counterclockwise 4 times and then clockwise 4 times? Or is it something like completely unexpected, different? A triangle pattern. Oh. Yeah, okay, I can see how you mean. I get it. That does sound like the much more difficult pattern now. And And we are down to healers. Venom Squall. Okay. Oh god, here. Well, we got it sort of right. We sort of got it right. we were missing people. That was the problem. Yeah, I think I get what you mean, Zane. Thank you for letting me know about the patterns. You're getting a little further, and that's progress. Yeah, exactly, Zane. Given how quickly the bigger channels are at putting out those kinds of rating guides, it wouldn't surprise me if groups already, like, by tomorrow would have the classic read a guide tag in their party finder groups. So who knows, maybe everything is down to a macro and everything's figured out already by tomorrow. Who knows? Oh. That's a wipe. That's just a wipe. That sucks. One of the healers had a lag spike. But I don't think it was the only thing that went wrong, so it doesn't really matter. We already had an ad. Thank you, Zane. It would be really nice if we can, if we can get a little bit further. And we have healed it.
We got them? Looks like we got them. And the wall. Raise the healer again. And hope we don't die. Ow. Oh. I messed up the order on the first two because I was so focused on seeing the third one. It's fine, we would have wiped anyway, it was just a little bit Topaz Cluster practice. It's probably a good idea for the group as a whole if we finish on this session. Because I think I might not be the only one that is a little exhausted. Oh, I was lucky there. Apparently the Toxic Crunch does not have an AoE component. Fortunately for me. Fastest rest in the West. Uh-oh. I thought for a moment there that the red mage was gonna die from attacking too fast after the rest.
Ah. Yeah, exactly. It's almost midnight here as well. I had originally planned to stop near 11, but now it's fun, right? So... we're going overtime. Oh. Oh, both parties. Right. I don't know if I'll be streaming tomorrow necessarily. But I might. If I am streaming, it's probably gonna be around 8. Like you say, it's almost midnight for you. It's almost midnight for me, so it would be around 8 in the evening. But I can't say for certain if I am going to be streaming, because I might be working on a video instead. Oh, that was the square pattern. Okay, I was not entirely sure, because it was like it could be a very like bad triangle. It could go for a bad triangle. Oh, yeah, that's when you start. That's when you finish raiding. Ah, okay. Well, if I do choose to, do streaming, I'll try my best to put like a little notice on it. Like put it on the plan, or in the schedule, so to speak, a little bit beforehand. But I'm not perfectly sure if I will. It would be nice. A very convenient time if that's exactly when your static finishes for the evening. And the Toxic Crunch, and I don't think we're gonna get everyone up in time for the next mechanic. Squall was spread first, right? I guess someone's done. That was very, like, it's funny how people just suddenly leave like that. Okay. Just with no words. That was how the first group disbanded too. They didn't even say a thing. It was just, nope, we're done. I mean, it's very efficient. But, yeah, both of my groups ended like this. I don't know if it's something I'm doing. Yeah, it's probably late, but the reason I'm saying I wonder if it's something I'm doing is mainly because if you have someone in your party finder group, and for some reason you don't want them in your group, maybe you're using, you know, a tool to tell that they're doing less DPS or something, legally you can't explain to them why you would kick them in that scenario. So what people sometimes do if they have a particularly terrible player is, instead of kicking them, they just disband the entire group and reform it without the bad person, which is extremely mean. It's extremely mean, but the only part where I can say that it's sort of reasonable argument is if you're in a, and I would still say that's still terrible, but is if you are in a clear group, like you're doing the weekly farm clear, everyone knows everyone can do it, but for some reason like you're dying on enrage because some DPS is missing and everyone knows who it is. But that's such a specific scenario. It just shouldn't, you shouldn't do that. Like, that's the whole thing with why DPS meters are not really allowed and all that, is because people use it to do mean things like this. I get why people do it, but that's why my first thought when a group just silently disbands like this is, who did something wrong? And the best way to tell with such a group that they did the split and reform thing is if you can find the group on the party finder again. Then you know they did it. Then you know that they did the thing. Because how are they gonna get a replacement, right? How are they gonna replace you now that you've been kicked? But yeah, there are mean people, but I'm guessing these guys didn't do that. But this was fun. This was very difficult. Not any more difficult than I had anticipated that it would be, but it was fun.
Yeah. And it is late at night. Yes, indeed. And I have to get up in the morning. I'm not on holiday. But I might try to get a little further tomorrow, but not 100% sure whether I will be streaming more tomorrow. Otherwise, I can say, hey Saption, I can say that every Saturday, sorry about what? Every Saturday I stream a main quest progress where I'm using a new character to re-clear the main quest. Some people like to see that, like it's a way that everyone can participate without really getting spoilers, because I'm so far behind that most people can watch. Like, it's a new character, we're just about to unlock Dragoon. Like that, if you want, like if you like to watch me stream, that's most Saturdays, and that's where Saption usually is on the stream. It's not exactly as intense as Savage Raiding, but it involves a lot of reading quests and voice acting. Yeah, okay. About having to go to work. Well, it's fine. I don't mind my work. Now, I'll try my best to put out like a little, like I can put a scheduled stream. So if I do it, I'll try to put it some hours in advance. I'm glad to see you guys in the stream today. That was that really helps with making it more fun. When there's a little conversation in the stream. So thank you. Anyway, I don't have any more on the schedule. I'm about to round off the stream. Sorry about that, Saption. You came right at the end. So if there's anything you guys wanted to ask, or like right here at the end, I'll stay for a few minutes. Why stream on YouTube instead of Twitch? I have heard a lot about tons of minor issues on Twitch. So instead of trying to drag my viewers over to Twitch to watch me there, I decided to just do both videos and streaming here on YouTube. That also means that you can just like the VOD of this entire stream will be available immediately after I close this stream, and you also have the opportunity to rewind if you feel like if you missed me saying something, and you can pause and resume anywhere during the stream if that helps you. But that's the main reason that I preferred to keep it like in one place, and there were some things that I didn't like about the Twitch platform that made me choose to stick to the YouTube platform instead. But you see, you might be really confused when you then see that I do have a Twitch account, but that's more a matter of I have it, so that no one else can have that name. I've heard that it is very, very difficult to get your brand name on Twitch, even if you can prove that it is in fact your brand name. So it's better to get it before someone else gets it. A bit like making a character with your character name as quickly as possible.
Yeah, that is the reason. I hope that makes sense. Anyway. Ah, okay, you normally watch on Twitch. Right. Yeah, I believe that if I plan a stream, like add it to a schedule, it should show up in your subscription feed that it is expected to come that I'm going to be there at that specific time, so you know in advance. I mostly do YouTube as like a hobby more so than a job, because my channel is so small that let's say that in a month the money that I would make from YouTube is like 1% of what I earn from my work. It's simply a hobby that might become something bigger one day. But wouldn't that be fun? But that's exactly why I'm not sure if I would stream tomorrow, because I want to make a video, and that's also that's time that would be in the same time frame and things like that. But I might be able to do both. I have been very lucky with some of my most recent videos getting some traction. But I appreciate it. Thank you. Now, I think that's everything I have. So I think I will be closing, rounding off now. Say that's that. So thank you guys again for watching, and good night or good morning or good afternoon, depending on where you are in the world. Yeah, guild making and crafter job guide. I did actually make a crafter job guide, and it didn't do that well, but that's probably because there was a bigger channel that did it better. But you're right. Thank you guys for watching. Good night.